Video game real estate. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because I thought we'd talk about this interesting article written by Scott Carbons from the Herald Sun on news.com.au. So Final Fantasy XIV Animal Crossing property dreams lived in video games amid high prices. So can't afford a house, just do it in a computer game. Now I'm a gamer. I don't really have time for it anymore now that I'm approaching middle age, to be honest. Most of the time I'll just watch reviews or things. But back in the day, I still like a good strategy game, Civilization or the old Command and Conquer titles, that type of stuff. I just don't really have the time to devote to it. The RPG, the online MMOs, I played them a little bit, but I never really got into it. And the whole idea about, decorating your house and buying decorations and things for like a virtual home, it did not interest me in the slightest, particularly when people spend real money on this stuff. I think you got more chance of seeing me fail badly at World of Tanks than one of these games. But I still think it's interesting to have a look at this article, because is this just spin to try and advertise a few games, or are people actually doing this? Are they going, I can't get a real house, so I might as well spend on a virtual one, because you can make some quite beautiful designs there. I'd call it pretty much kit bashing, and some of the things that people can come up with are a lot of fun. So, would-be home buyers blocked from the market by high prices and COVID-19 are living their property dreams in the virtual world. Well, you know what you could do? You could monetize it. If you're designing, nice designs, you could do YouTube videos and tutorials on how to do it. You could monetize it, maybe get a Twitch channel. It could be an income stream. But then it turns into a job and you got to work it hard. So juggernaut video games including Animal Crossing, Final Fantasy, and The Sims, where deposits are a no-brainer. So Animal Crossing, my sister-in-law has that, and the kids are loving it. They're playing it. It's a good little, friendly Nintendo game on the not the Wii, Switch. The Nintendo Switch shows you how up to date I am with it. Final Fantasy, I didn't realize they had house building in that. I'm not surprised. The Sims, I played that back in the day. I think The Sims 1 and 2 on the computer, on a real machine. I remember there's this one girl I knew at university, and she would make all these characters and name them after people in her family and people like me, and then she'd just torment us all in the game. She's a bit strange. She was a bit strange. Good old the people you meet when you study some economics, everyone. So it all makes sense now. It all makes complete sense now. So you're replacing city apartments and suburban house and land packages for gamers who love the freedom of interior design and building creativity. Well, of course it's lots of fun if you've got no budget. And with good old Whitechapel and Old Kent roads and their equivalents worth a fortune these days, property gaming has also kicked on since Monopoly made its mark. There you go. This is a similar type of tech that we use in our architectural visualizations. So you know what I'll do is I'll bring up. Do I have any of the renders? I'll bring up our website. I don't know if I have. Oh yeah, I've got a few renders here. These are some visuals that we did for a job. I'm trying to see what more we have. We've got more of the finished stuff here. Oh, here we go. Here's some more visuals. Just trying to show off, just to evoke, a feel. This was some indigenous housing we did. So we've been using this type of technology, which is essentially based on the same game engine text to visualize our architecture. And it's not quite photorealistic, because it's kind of a waste, particularly if you're in the early stages. The photorealistic stuff you want to use to sell your product. So often a lot of developers, that's when they'll be pushing the photorealistic. So they get the nice, apartment, the nice little bathroom and the kitchen and those type of things, where we're more just kind of selling the concept, we've got this cool idea for a stadium, or this is the housing that we're designing, these type of things. Whoa, I've lost weight. So has Rachel. Damn, I got to update those photos. I should look at me now, hang on. Yeah, even though I've packed on the kilos, I'm still not at that level. That just shows you guys. So, you know, there's kind of a crossover with a lot of this tech, and you're finding the engines, both Unity and Unreal, are now releasing add-ons that work with your architectural packages to allow you to visualize your projects and do crowds and everything. All this really cool stuff. A lot of it for free or really cheap. I mean, there you go. Games that feature housing have skyrocketed in popularity, with Animal Crossing going viral as the pandemic hit, and the focus on property design in Final Fantasy bigger than ever. I mean, see, these are just... The thing is, these are just in... They're time sinks in these games. The idea is to create... well, you want to get a feedback loop in your gaming, particularly if you're monetizing it, and you want a time sink for the player to actually spend time in the game. And building a little, you know, a house and a mansion is something like that. And sure, you could monetize it with online, you know, videos, I guess, and Twitch, but I don't know how lucrative that is. I mean, I've got a Twitch channel, and I usually just now broadcast HeiseSays stuff. I did a little bit of gameplay, Let's Plays, and usually with me and the kids, we'd be playing FTL or something like that. That's another thing, when you have children, a lot of these games, you need to make sure that you can play them around the kids and play them with the children. Where The Sims is probably, these are probably all good examples. Maybe Final Fantasy actually can be a little bit violent and a little bit more mature. I think Animal Crossing can probably be a bit better if you have younger kids. So Final Fantasy, and this has to be because there's a new Final Fantasy coming out. So Final Fantasy 14 online director and producer Nako Yoshida said an extremely significant number of gamers even got married or found their partner in real life through the game. And I mean, guys, it's just, I know it sounds a bit, to the older generation that may seem crazy, but you've got to understand it's just a shared interest. It's just a shared interest, and there are people talking, and you get to know each other, and you spend a lot of time together sometimes. My sister-in-law is friends with her guildies in her game, and when she had a car accident, they sent her money. They were really worried, because you build relationships with people there. It's hard for some people to perhaps realize that's what can happen. In some regards, these can be the most significant relationships some people have, which is a little sad. Yeah, well, it's probably more a sign of the times. How many people don't even know their neighbors? You know, we all live in air-conditioned boxes now. How many people still play out in the yard or get to know their neighbors anymore? So, at times like this, it's exactly because of their attachment to this world that they develop feelings of wanting home ownership and living there, Mr. Yoshida said. In order to meet these needs and expand the world, we've worked on the development of a sound housing system ever since the release of Final Fantasy 14. I mean, there you go. I wonder how much can they actually create in this. I mean, that's nuts that they can actually spend so much time on it. But there you go. I mean, this, you know, she's interior design isn't limited to her bedroom and study in Final Fantasy. I mean, you could honestly turn this as training for being an interior designer, an interior decorator. I'm not kidding. You could. That would be interesting. Okay, Animal Crossing, there we go. Let me know if you're a fan of any of these games. I mean, majority of the viewers are my age up of the channel. I'm sure we've got some younger ones, but that doesn't mean anything that you're not a gamer. It probably means more so how much time do you have to play games. I know my brother-in-law, another one, he's a lawyer, and he had like all these hours on Civilization, played like hundreds of hours, because, you know, we're on Steam, and he'd tell us, yeah, don't think I'm just sitting there playing with it. What he does is, because it's turn-based, he just leaves the game running in his study on the weekend, and he'll go around and do stuff. So he can, if he gets 5 minutes, he'll come and do a few moves, and then go and take care of stuff, come and do a few moves. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. So the experience of working for, building and designing your own place is still satisfying in the digital world too. And you probably you're not suckered into well, no, there is rampant inflation in these games as well. The economic modeling in some of these games is really interesting. Even the disease spread modeling, if you look at what happened in World of Warcraft with some of the bugs and these diseases were introduced, they were quite interesting too. So the graphics at home aren't as good as the game graphics, Miss Foriga said. Kate Smith from East Bentley can't afford to move out of her family home. With plans on the back burner since being unable to work her hospitality job under lockdown. The 25-year-old enjoys interior design in Final Fantasy, limited to her bedroom and study at home, and entertaining friends in the game, which she also can't do in real life. Yeah. I try to decorate so I feel satisfied and comfortable, like something I'd like to live in personally, cozy with red lights and glows of fire and things like that, she said. This just reminds me of that web series, The Guild, when they designed a guild chamber hall. So I can't really decorate in real life because I'm still at home and it's really expensive to move out in Melbourne. So you can sort of live through that a little bit and design your own home. And while virtual decorating can get as extravagant as waterfalls at the foot and heart of your bed, Melbourne CBD renter Emma Quor, 26, said the island bench central to her home in Animal Crossing was a must when she eventually bought it in real life. Well, there you go. So, there we have it, guys. What do you think? What do you think? You know, I think a bit of fun. People are playing with it, and honestly, it could be good practice. Okay, Final Fantasy maybe not, but others could be good practice for interior decorating. Yeah? And you're not stuck with a huge bank mortgage, very least. At least then you'd be able to take a whole bunch of photographs, screenshots to your architect, to your interior designer, to your builder with what you want. It's probably not a crazy idea, honestly, if you do something in a piece of, even a game. I had students who were using designed a house in The Sims at university because it was the easiest way he could communicate his ideas. There's nothing wrong with that. Maybe that's what these people are doing. Could be. You know, get your waterfall in your bedroom, guys. Anyway, let me know what you think, guys. Are you a gamer? You know, with the lockdown in Melbourne, have you nothing else to do, so you've jumped into your gaming. You found a way to turn it into something that you can monetize, something you can make money in. Although Twitch and streaming gaming is a very competitive sector. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to support the content I create here, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or Kucoin. You can buy merch from HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. Take care, everyone. Have a great day. I'll see you next time.